Greetings everyone and welcome back to City Skylines and of course to the Green Cities DLC where we are currently following a bus around. It's a charming little journey I think. Oh, we've stopped at a road. Okay, fair enough. Time to move on. Right then, in the last episode we finished fleshing out, or rather, well, this part, I'm not going to say we finished fleshing out all of the residential district because I would like to expand that quite a lot. But this one was a good build here. We've also got Central Park and people are generally fairly happy about that, I think. But in this episode, we definitely need to do a little bit more in regards to expansion. Now, we do have a little road along here. I wouldn't mind dropping in a couple more businesses along here and maybe even some offices at the back. And I think we're going to start out by doing that, actually. I think that would probably be a fairly good beginning. So let's get the water out here and all the way down there. And then we can hook these up. We're also going to have to draw the water through here, unfortunately. About there will do. Sure, we can also have it connect up then as well. There we are. Right, okay, now I've got to admit, I am starting to feel the draw of starting a new city. One of the sad things about City Skylines is there's no connection between the cities. Unlike SimCity, not the most recent SimCity, but the SimCity before it, I forget what that one was called. The fact that they changed their number scheme has thrown me completely. But where you would have could build multiple cities in the same overall region, and so if you felt like you'd like to start a new city, you could, and it would still interact with the old city, and perhaps there would be some sort of traffic motion between them. But I think we've got an episode or two left in this one before we start thinking about possibly beginning afresh. I've got some fairly big ideas for a new build, but for now, let's just work on smartening this city up a little bit, I think. Let's start with... Sure, let's have a bit of a tree-lined street, just coming out about that far. We'll do the same about there. We'll just bring it out around about... Yeah, we'll go out to the 4. And then bring this one a little bit further along. There we go, that'll be lovely. And then just have this curve down. There we go. We'll have a little business section in there, maybe a service of some kind. Down here, however, we actually want to branch out a little bit. And this one we will switch to regular roads. Can I not bring it out in that direction? Ah, there we go. That'll do. Sure, we'll bring this one out to about there, and then... Actually, yes, I would like them to connect like so. And then we'll have a street just running in this direction. I'm afraid that this little item now needs to move around even further away. If we move it over here, it should still be within range to help out there. Okay, now I'm thinking having commercial all the way along here to benefit from the better access for trucks and lorries, and at the back then we can have industrial in the form of offices, because we do need both to some degree. And towards that end we're going to have a nice long curving road actually going up here. I'm thinking something like this, and then we can follow through a little bit, curve up, and sure, we can come up to around about here, and then we want to start curving a little bit more aggressively to meet up down at this point. Can we not get that to connect? Really? Oh, that is most disappointing. I'll be honest. Quite disappointed. Oh, there we go. Aha! I have forced you to do what I wanted. I approve. Right, let's get this connected up as well, though. There we go. Lovely. Now this should give us a nice area for offices along there. Down here, I think we should have a couple more businesses. We could... You know what? I'm going to allow them to park around here as well. Aren't I benevolent? Let me connect to this road, please. That'll... No, no. Okay, fine. That'll do. We'll bring this down to around about there, and then we'll have a little curve just going down. There we are. And I think we'll have a regular straight road around here. So, oh, I'm liking this piece of music. This is really actually quite pretty. Well, no. Let's go... No. See, that's the problem. It's going to try and connect to that node. Let's try from there then. That'll do. There we are. We can just expand this one out a little bit more. There we go. I think that will actually work quite nice. And it looks quite pretty, I think, as well. This long road there, quite a prestigious road, quite a prestigious avenue. Let's have a look. I don't know if we really want to expand that out too much. Ooh, got a couple of abandoned buildings. I wonder why. Low density commercial building, abandoned, but why? I guess we will never know. There's a dead person in that one and in that one and oh my lord. Death. Much death. Why? Why is there so much death? Oh, okay. There's only death over here, but why? What on earth happened? The zoo. Ah, damn it. Did animals get out? I told them not to try and mix the raptor with the T-Rex. The fools. Okay, there we go. We've already got quite a lot of developments coming through. However, I would like to make a couple of connections. This one will do. Let's get a little bit of curve going though. Let's bring... No, right there. Perfect. I approve. We could do similar around here as well. I approve of the classic station. It has grown on me. Occasionally it comes up with something that's a little bit too jazzy for my tastes, but overall I'm actually pretty happy with the music that plays here. We could definitely do with a wee connection up there, I think. There we go, marvellous. We're going to have quite a lot of trees. In fact, actually I think this road would be perfect for that. Let's get a couple of bushes just kind of going along here as these larger commercial interests build up. And then we'll slot in loads of trees around them as well. There we go. A couple of small trees, a couple of big trees. We'll go with these for especially large ones here and there. There we go. And that'll actually make this look quite lovely, I'm fairly certain. Let's get a few more around there. A couple of larger trees there. And of course, when I say I actually want the larger trees, it doesn't give any of them to me. Skylines game. How rude. Right, there we go. That'll make for a lovely little break there from some of the traffic sounds. Okay, that'll take a little while to build up, and right now we want a lot more in the way of residential. Let me just start emptying that one. Have we gotten anywhere near that over here? Nah, not so great. I'll allow you to start accepting again, though. We've got a bit of a worker shortage once more. Those areas just seem to fluctuate between no worker shortage and, oh my god, where are all the workers gone? This place is perpetually short of workers, though. Over here, not so. No one minds working in Stardew Valley. In fact, I'm fairly certain that people move to this city in order to work in Stardew Valley. Everywhere else, though, not quite. I'm starting to feel that the lumberyard in Midness Meadow, we need to move that elsewhere. This is not a good place for it anymore. I'm definitely thinking that that might be a good one to move. So I'm going to go ahead. Midness Meadow. Goodbye, Midness Meadow. Time for you to be gone. And in your place, we will put something truly wondrous, I promise. But for now, all of this needs to be gone. No more. No more. Goodbye. All of that gone. We will do something wonderful with this area, but it won't be an industrial area. At least not right now. Maybe a high-tech industrial area, perhaps in the future. I'm not sure. We'll see what we do. I'm gonna just allow the area to clear out for now, and then we'll see how we want to build it up. Hopefully that will encourage more people to move in over here, though. That would actually be quite nice. Now, around here, we could definitely do with a little bit more residential. We've got a reasonable amount kind of in this little island down there, but we do need a lot more than we've got. So, with that in mind, let's have a look at building out a new area for that. So, let's start with this. And I'm going to... I want to kind of join up here. Unfortunately, you're not going to make this easy on us, are you? Let's draw that up for now. Then connect up. So there we go. There we are. That was a lot of money, but we are filthy rich, that's fine. Right, I would like to remove those. There we go. Now around here, I would like a roundabout. Sure, we'll go with this for now. That should be fine. Right, we are going to want... Sure, we'll make it a reasonable sized roundabout as well. No. Oh, we're gonna have to turn off road guidelines, I think. Otherwise this... Scallywags. Otherwise, this is gonna be a much harder job than it needs to be. Right, let's go for the curves. There we are. And about there will do. There we go. It shouldn't be too difficult to achieve. Oh. Except that is not in the right place. Little bit worrisome. Oh well, we'll just have to hope for the best. Is that... No, we can't. That is terrible. This is a problem when you start your roundabout from roads on either end. Let's go a different route. Let's just build out from the middle. Where can we find that point? Okay, doesn't seem to want to work for me. Can I perhaps... No? And I find... Oh! Road guidelines are off. Of course. Yes. I'm a bit of a dope. I turned them off intentionally. Right, we'll bring this out to here and we'll just make a little bit further out, actually. Make it one nice big roundabout. Now, using this particular road, a 6-lane... Nah, we really don't need a 6-lane. Let's just go with a 2-lane highway should be good enough. 1-way highway with sound barriers is what we're going to need. There we go. And let's make this a reasonable size. Okay, that's a little bit off. No, 90 degrees. There we are. And let's hope that we can get this to be a reasonable shape. There we go. And connected. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Right, now we can do away with you completely. And back to the roads. Sure, why not? Let's splurge on some really nice roads, shall we? There we are. Oh, that's so much better. So much better. And now from there, we can branch off in various different directions. For example, we can bring a road all the way up here. We can sweep through. I think something around there would be quite nice. We'll probably branch off in lots of other ways as well. And over on this side, just straight out along here. And then branch, and then sweeping up to the side. Something like that. We'll probably want to expand out in that direction. We'll want to extend out and along the coastline. Somewhat like this. In fact, we could have these two areas connect back up. Might not be a bad idea. Something around that. There we go. That's actually fairly good. And we can have a similar shape heading up here. Only this one won't completely reconnect. Then off these we can have smaller roads that just feed onto the larger road there. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. That looks so unnecessarily derpy. It isn't even following the land or anything, but damn it, I think it's going to give us an interesting shape to play with. Down here, how are we doing for demands? We're actually starting to see commercial rising again, which is interesting. Okay. We could definitely add a bit more commercial along here. Let's keep some interesting shapes, though. Don't want it to all be uniform. Something like that, and then just a larger shape going along there. There we go. And then we can drop in a couple of other things here and there to make that look a little bit better. Unfortunately, this is going to take a long while to get sorted. Ooh, we just won something. Hooray us! As for out here, though, this is probably going to push our water to the limit once we actually start dropping these areas down. It's going to be a bit of a pain, but okay. We'll start off... I think this will be the residential area around here. There we go. Now, I'm going to need to lay down quite a lot of roads. So I'll bring you back when I've done that, because this is going to be a few minutes work. And then we will start properly zoning. So see you in a moment. Okay, just putting the finishing touches on this little area now. We'll bring this out to about here, I think, and then we'll have some final roads just running this length. Actually, let's change that road to one that people can actually park on. In fact, let's change this road to it as well. I didn't quite mean to use that road, basically. Let's have this sweep out, and we'll have a little bit of a flare at the end. Just a bit of a curve there. Nothing too much. Doesn't need to be specifically going anywhere. Just a straight road, really. Because you don't want, as I've mentioned many times before, you don't want to completely eliminate straight roads. Otherwise, you're doing exactly the same thing as only having straight roads, and that is you're removing diversity from your city. However, we will have a couple of paths just connecting up this little area down here. Something like that should be quite nice, I'm thinking. Straight across there. There we go. That'll actually look quite beautiful. We'll have this one sweeping up in here as well. Doesn't actually go anywhere, just into the park itself. There we go. Lovely. Actually, this side might want to go over there. There we are. Okay, there we are. We'll have a little bit over here as well. And then we are properly finished with this, I think. I'll probably add more. But as you can see, looks like a nice, interesting little area where we're going to have loads of houses. However, before we do that, I completely remembered this time to lay down a little bit of water first. Sure, we'll have this connect up out there, and then follow along this road. Should be good. Over here, we could simply come down and then probably even hook up there, actually. We will likely... This is the problem, is that this little area is so higgledy-piggledy. I mean, it's gorgeous for that, but at the same time, trying to be efficient with the ways that I'm connecting up these pipes, not as easy, unfortunately. We'll probably want this to sweep up. See, therein lies the problem. Give it an actual connection there, then we'll follow up this along this road. Or maybe we won't. That is so bad. It hurts. It hurts my brain. It truly does. There we go. And then we can have this one connected there as well. Much redundancy, I know. Silly me. Right, okay, so we've got this lovely little area. I think this actually deserves to be a district all of its own. Not sure what we're going to do with this district, but this absolutely looks like a place that needs to be a district. And you know what? Let's continue with the Green Cities vibe. I mean, that's the whole point of this DLC. Let's make this one a... Where are we? Residential. Self-sufficient. Yeah, self-sufficient. Additionally, local, organic and local produce in there as well. There we go. I think that will be wonderful. We can also add in a couple of policies here as well. Recycling should be going on. Smoke detector, absolutely. Parks and recreation, sure. And in terms of city planning, I'm going to encourage biking, and I would like electric cars, please. There we go. That should be fine. This can move a little bit more. I'm just constantly moving it further and further away. It can live over there. Right, okay. So, with that, we will be having some commercial, but it'll be Oh, no. Oh no, what happened there? Wow. That suddenly went bad really quickly. Oh. What? Why? Why are we having rolling brownouts everywhere? I don't even... What have I broken? I honestly can't tell why we're having power issues. We shouldn't be, from what I can tell. Okay, well, let's go ahead and build another solar updraft tower, and we'll have... This one can live over here, I'm thinking. Right about there. There we go. That should sort out the power. Beyond question? Apparently not. No, there we go. Everything's getting back on the grid. Little by little, but that was very peculiar. I couldn't quite see why that was such a big issue. I have no idea what went on there. I have absolutely no idea. Regardless, didn't like it. At all. Okay, there we go. All of the problems have... Well, all of the problems... No, not all of the problems. Some of the problems have now been sorted out. Okay, well, let's get back in here then. Now, as I mentioned, I would like commercial along here, but we're going to go for low commercial. And we'll just drop these along here. There we are. And the same on this side as well. Leaving a couple of gaps here and there. Not too many, mind you, but a couple. There we go. That should connect up the initial power once it actually starts to go. And we'll have a couple of large blocks of residential. But I would like to be a little bit more sparing with the way I set these up. So we'll have a couple of houses around there. Over here as well, we want this one to be high density, and there as well. Couple of these really high density blocks, but not everywhere. Around there, people aren't going to be super happy about that one, unfortunately. But there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I have a few more high density blocks. And then a couple of low density just kind of sprinkled throughout. There we go. You, my friend, are going to have to move, I'm afraid. So let's grab you and just shunt you across the side there. A little bit. There we go. I didn't realize I had two of them. I must have placed one in error. Right, there we go. Let's speed up time and hopefully we'll see this actually start to even out. May see a little bit more going on. Oh, we got a fire. That is not so great. Where's the fire brigade? There sounds like a helicopter's nearby. No, that was definitely not a fire helicopter, but never mind, the fire was put out. Good times. Okay, how's it going down here? Not terrible. We will slowly build this little area up, but we have no RCI, no demand for residential, which is actually a bit of a problem, frankly. Right. They should start building up. They would almost certainly build up if we got some parks down here, I think. Let's have a look then, because I did leave a fair bit of room around here. We want a carousel, because clearly that is the win button in this game. Carousel right around here, perhaps? Actually, no, let's not. Let's go for a Japanese garden instead, because as awesome as carousels are, come on, it's just strange to have carousels dotting the city to keep all of my residents happy. It feels a little bit overpowered. Let's get a small park that isn't at all small. Where would I like you? I could have you about there. That would be nice. And at this point, that would probably be sufficient to connect everyone up. Yeah, that would be fantastic. We can get rid of these then. Goodbye to you. There we go. That should be spreading power throughout this whole area. There we go. Alright, so you're going to have a little bit of leisure time. Do we have anything else? Let's not put too much down in that little area. We are losing 5,000 a month right now, which is none too great. But we are starting to see that creeping up. Now, let's have a look at our education. Because I'm feeling an elementary school would be good. We could go with a regular elementary school if we really wanted to. Yeah, actually, let's have one regular elementary school somewhere. We could nestle it in here, or perhaps we could nestle it down here instead. Yeah, sure, we'll pop it right down by there. This little area can be developed a little bit more along the low density residential route. I think I'd like that actually. And once again, I would like to control the shape of the buildings that go in here. Something along those lines, and we can actually have another path going down there at some point as well. But that should be fine for now. We'll just have a couple of smaller buildings right along there. Along here, sure, we'll just paint all of that in low density. And much the same down there, actually. Yeah, that looks quite nice. In fact, if we're having a load of low density down there, I'm going to say that we'll replace several of these with higher density residential blocks. Sorry, yeah, I know, it's terrible. Your mayor is very indecisive, and this does suck. I appreciate that. However, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. It's done now. So, I hope you'll move over there, basically. Alright, there we go. That should work. We have no demand for anything at all. That is an odd place to be, frankly. I find it very curious to be there. How are we doing for death? It's not great. We are seeing a couple popping up over and around the city. How about over here in Radiant Garden? No, Radiant Garden seems quite happy, actually. May want to continue to build up Stardew Valley and then just demolish Sylvan Heights, I'm thinking. It's quite possible. We've got a lot of dirty industry over here, but I'm thinking, sure, okay, we'll actually allow this to build up as regular industry for now then. Let's get all of this built around here, and we'll see how our workforce can manage that. I'll have a couple around there as well. There we go. Hopefully that will generate a couple more jobs. We don't actually need those jobs right now, but we'll see. And let's have a look at our elementary school. It's still quite bad, actually. Just announced that our beautiful city won the most attractive city award. I think it's rigged, frankly. Let's have a look at high school. I mean, we could drop a high school around here. It's a rather large cost, but it would make this place extremely attractive to households with families. That being said, I think I'd rather continue building up the residential areas for now. Sure, let's get a number of residences around here. Now, let's have a look at the fire. Ooh, yeah. Probably want a fire station somewhere around here just to make sure that everything is okay. Can I get one on this road? I can get one right down here. Sure, right at the end of the street. Yeah, I like that actually. That will definitely improve people's feeling of safety. Not so much over there though, but that's not something I'm going to be able to help with, I'm afraid. Let's see. Police is fine. Yeah, it's just education really that we're wanting to work on. Faculty for the university, don't think we need it. We're quite far away from that. Our capacity is so low. We haven't done something silly like pull the budget down, have we? No, we have not. Well, not a lot we can do about that, I'm afraid. We're just going to have to keep building lots and lots of schools until everyone in the city has a place of learning. That's unfortunate. Let me get you hooked up with some power then until such a time as we get buildings spread around here to hook you up. As for this little area, I actually think that this one would be best with just low density along there. That's actually looking kind of nice. It's going to be much better when we've actually got enough demand to get the rest of this place sorted out, but for the time being, it's not terrible. We will be filling this little area in as well, but I'm not yet sure whether I want that to build off this road or come direct off this road. I'm leaning towards getting it to build off this road, honestly. We'll have to see how that one goes first. Now, this area is going to be a prime candidate for another subway, but I'm going to let the area build up first before we actually get to that. Otherwise, I feel that it's going to be a little bit too much too early. Not that having access to our public transport system is really going to be a negative, but still. This place is built up quite nicely, actually. Let's have a quick gander, shall we? How are you looking for land value? Very high land value around here. Starting to creep up around this area. No, actually, that's more the residential connection. But around there, it's not too bad because these are such high-level buildings. It's going to take a little while for these to develop, I feel. And we are ahead of the curve on RCI right now, so we've got buildings going up more or less as soon as there is any kind of demand, which isn't terrible, I suppose. You know what, though? I wouldn't mind connecting these areas up across here in some way. Let's pop down a path for now. So, yeah, we'll get the grid lines on. Actually, we don't need them for what I want to do. Make sure that's down to 3. I'm not as much a fan of this particular track on classical, honestly, and I'm thinking of taking it away. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's a nice connection there. Yeah, let's jump back onto the regular City Skylines audio for now until the game gets that particular song out of its system, which will take a little bit. All right, let's pop this down there. Oh no, that's a little bit too close apparently. Very well, we will pop it down here instead. 1, 2, 3, and across. Actually, we could take this all the way across if we really wanted to. And yeah, sure, why not? So down to about here. Oh dear. Thank goodness that happened just before I got too demolish happy. There you go. Couple of connection points there, so people can just walk from our residential district over there straight across. We'll have another one just around here as well. This one can be more straightforward though, I feel. No, apparently not. There we go. There we are. And straight across. And then straight down as well. Perfect. I think it's always nice to give my pedestrians an easy access route. Oh, of course. There's nothing around here that allows people to actually connect services. My bad, everyone. My bad. We've got loads of capacity, but unfortunately we have not got availability in this area. So a recycling center around here would work. It wouldn't be the nicest area though, I've got to be honest. Likewise, I'm not super happy about the idea of putting it down there either. I guess I could have it in here and have some services branching off that. Got a little one down there. You know what? Actually, what we'll do, we'll give you a dedicated solution to this. And let's get this branching off down here. And then have a little bit of a curve heading down in this direction. Yeah, that'll do. About there. And then just bring it a little ways out from all of that. Right, there we go. We're going to need to hook this up with electricity, unfortunately. We can have that there, like so. And actually, we no longer need this on this side. Marvelous. But we are going to need to set this one up with electricity and possibly water as well. I can't remember. No. Seems a bit good. Okay, good times. On that note, we may want a crematorium around here somewhere. Let's see. We'll have a little one just at the edge around here. In fact, actually, this one can be just behind. Actually, no, that wouldn't really be able to access all of the buildings that would need it. If we place it down here, it's going to have a little bit better access, but not by a whole lot. How about there? That will access pretty much everything. Or even, if we could have it branching off this street here. Yeah, let's not have the crematorium right on this main road there. Let's have it just tucked in somewhere around here. That will do, I think. There we are. That'll make a lot of people happier there. Okay. Nice. Alright. We do still need more and more elementary schools. There isn't an elementary school up here? Oh my lord. I don't know why I'm so surprised. We did avoid building one for the longest possible time. Right. I think an elementary school about there would have a good reach, but it would be much better if I could get in the middle somewhere. No, can't really put one there. Could have one maybe down on this street. No matter what we do there, it's not going to cover much. So I'm going to place one down here, and then maybe another one over here as well, so that it accesses more of my my population there. Yeah, on that side it seems to get a bit of a better reach. But if we go down there, yeah, we'll place one right in there. There we go. That should help a little bit. We're getting there slowly. Need a lot more than we've currently got, but we'll make it happen. I don't strictly want one right down here. I feel that is not the best place for an elementary school. Got one that's covering that area, but we do need one to cover this whole area in here. I'm afraid we're going to lose a lot of population here. I'd actually like to use the community school though for this one. If I'm going to lose a lot, I may as well get something really nice out of it. So let's pop that one right in there. There we go. And that is extremely expensive, but it should pull up the overall land value of these areas quite considerably, actually. Could get another one down here as well to service these families. I think that's nice. Sure, okay, let's pop that one down there as well. There we go. Loads of people made happy with that. We're getting there, everyone. Little by little. We are almost covering the needs of all of our citizens in terms of elementary education. Well, I think that's a good bit of work done. We are going to need some police around here, though, because there's just no coverage this far out. We'll only have a small police station, though. I don't think we need anything bigger than that. And this small police station can live right about there. That should be fine, I think. Doesn't quite get all the way up there, but I think we should be okay with that one. We're finally starting to see more of a demand for residential. Hooray! We are doing good work, apparently, as voted for by my citizens. Alright, let's draw this out. I'm going to leave that little area specifically clear, because I actually want that one to just have trees. Let's plonk a couple of trees down along that path. There we go. A few bushes in there as well. There we are. Just to isolate that little area. I don't want anything cropping up there. I would like all of this to be developed, but I want that path to stay. And there we go. And we'll have the same on this side. There we are. Yeah, I'm actually really liking this little area. As much as it looks really super higgledy-piggledy with all the roads, no, I think it's quite charming. As for this little place here, though, I think we need something very special in there. Let's find a truly ginormous tree. No. We want something absolutely massive if we can find one. I think that's quite lovely. I ended up having to place quite a lot of these monster trees until we got a couple of interesting looking ones that are at the right sort of height. We'll place down a couple of flowering trees around it as well. There we are. And I think that should be lovely. Once these all come into bloom, it's going to be horrendous for anyone with any kind of allergy to tree pollen. But outside of that situation, it's going to be lovely. There we go. Right, okay, so this little area developing quite nicely, I must say. Down on this side, I'm thinking that we may actually want to switch back to having the taller buildings, though. Let's go to the high density residential for these areas down here. And right along. There we go. And yeah, moving up here as well, we are going to want the high density ones too. I may have a couple of paths around there, not entirely certain on that yet. Down around here though, we'll just get a couple more low density and then switch back to the high density leading up to this point. Around here, we are definitely going to want more commercial though. There we are. And the same on this side. Now, the trucks delivering to these commercial properties will have easy access along this nice big fast road, but won't really have much reason to use these smaller roads after that. Though that being said, they are going to need to turn here and there, which is a bit of a problem. So they're going to duck into these areas in order to turn, but hopefully that won't be too bad. I could pop a couple of small areas for them to turn off with that in mind. I'll see. But so far, things are actually looking quite nice. Where are all these? Oh, these are garbage trucks. They're meant to go that way. That's fine. That's fine. You can continue doing your job. We are seeing a lot of our citizens now. 40% of our citizens are highly educated. Marvelous. Much smaller percentage now completely uneducated. Okay, more and more of these buildings are starting to level up, which is fantastic to see. This is going to gradually improve things as more and more people attain high levels of education. They prepare to level up their building, which is fantastic. Down here, not as many, but it takes time for the citizens to become educated once they set up. Ooh, we haven't got water down there. Oh, that's terrible. My bad. Oh, yes. I hadn't actually developed this road yet. Also my bad. There we go. There we are. All is fixed, though possibly not forgiven. I mean, it may be a little bit much for me to hope for forgiveness this early. But on the whole, I'm actually pretty happy with the way that we are developing this little area. As we move out further to the coast, I'm going to be looking to probably build up a little area for docks. So a little offshoot off this roundabout for dockyards. I may even try to hook up the train station to that so that the train can deliver things directly to the docks so that we don't have to worry too much. But this little area here, this is going to be for a significant residential upgrade, I'm thinking. I'm really looking forward to getting some really nice residentials around here and some unique buildings too, possibly even an opera house somewhere around there. I like this little area though. This little oasis of low density in the otherwise dominating, or rather intimidating, skyline around it. I actually like it quite a lot. I think it works quite well. Might try to do something around here though. That feels a little bit empty to me, honestly. In fact, let's do that before we wrap up this episode. We're not going to connect it because I would rather have a little bit more independence from each road. We will connect it with a path naturally. So let's pop this down about there and then go straight down there. And maybe even duck that in there a little bit. And swing that around like so. There we go. That actually looks quite nice. We can have a little walkway branching off there. And maybe even... sure, actually we'll have a little bit of a cross here. Actually reminds me of the park I went walking in last night. I haven't visited it for ages and it's changed so much since the last time I went through there. It's changed a lot for the better, but some of the paths I really enjoyed have gone. and now you can't walk quite as close to the river. I can't say hello to the swans anymore. I'm a little bit distraught at that, but it is actually, they've done a lot of work. They've put in much better lit paths and things like that, and so it's much nicer to walk around at night. But yeah, I do miss just being able to sit next to the river in almost pitch darkness, the only illumination from the stars above. Okay, so we'll pop down a couple more residential around here as well. There we go. And on this side, just make sure that I don't accidentally get rid of that path. Okay, I really like what we've done in today's episode. We've massively expanded out this little area here with a bit more industrial in the form of offices, and then down here a new residential hub with a bit of a commercial strip, just following along the highest capacity road in this area. Down here we're going to start building out in the next episode, and we're probably going to be looking to drop down a couple of unique buildings. Money wise, we're not doing terribly, but we could certainly do with a bit of an upgrade in incoming taxes, because yeah, that is kind of on the worryingly low side. We spent about, well, near enough $1 million in this episode, I think, but we are slowly starting to climb again, and we are very close to unlocking the next upgrade, which will be Colossal City, and then we'll have the floating cafe, which we can add all the way out here to our actually kind of out of the blue, fairly high-class district with all of its tourist destinations. Oh well. But that's going to be it from me. I do hope you've enjoyed and will be joining me for the next, where we will, as I mentioned, be developing this district and probably popping down the Opera House. I'm thinking that one is definitely on my radar for being closer to the coastline. But until next time, and as always, do take care.